Hi,
Hi,
I'm Nick,
I'm Joe.
and we're
Hipstrings.
So this is episode 10. I don't even know what day it is.
Yeah. Well, thanks
day
for
is it?
coming back. We've had a little bit of hiatus because Nick was off globe trotting.
Globetrotting, too.
Globetrotting.
Yeah. So I apologize that we are off sync, and then we're also delayed by a little bit, maybe. Depends on how quickly I can get it up.
Yeah.
Because you were not feeling very well, but you're feeling better now, right?
I'm feeling better. I'm on
Yeah.
the mend.
Yeah. But you keep on telling us we need to have the date every time. Wait, I gotta see the date. It is September 14th.
Yes.
Yeah.
2017.
2017, and we should have known that because there is a shop update that's currently active. So
Yeah.
if we get dings, that's why. So we don't have a name yet. Here's the name. Somewhere here-ish.
Yeah. Sorry, not sorry about the ka-chings. It's that little moment of joy in our lives.
Yeah, I guess people don't necessarily know that when you make an order on the website, both our phones go ka-ching. And it doesn't matter if it's Etsy or if it's Shopify, we get a ka-ching either way. So we know immediately that you love us. Or at least the stuff that we're selling.
Yeah. Something like that.
Okay, so...
I feel like I can't even remember what's happened since the last time we recorded.
No, we didn't even remember what episode number we're on.
Yeah. So there's other stuff. So let's go on to Warp, Twisted, and Loopy.
Yeah, that's the easiest.
And there's stuff that you're going to have to insert pictures of because I forgot to bring them. Well, I didn't have a chance to bring them back from the studio since I've been under the weather and not making it to the studio to bring things home to show off because it was important that they went to the studio to get photographed.
Okay, but you already have pictures of them?
Yes.
Okay.
So among my finished objects, my spinning FOs are almost all little 1 ounce sample skeins of 9 new signature blends that are up in the shop or coming to the shop. And so Nick will insert photos of them.
Do you remember what they are?
There's Space Unicorn. There's Baby Unicorn. So those are the 2 new unicorns.
Mm-hmm.
There's Confluence, which is a BFL silk. If you liked Redheads Take Manhattan, it's the same kind of blend. There is a new version of Tweety that is just a merino silk. It doesn't have flax in it. That's not up yet. There's Raindrops on Roses and Warm Woolen Mittens.
2017.
Yeah, version 2.
Raindrops on Roses is a new one.
Warm Woolen Mittens is version 2.
Yeah.
There's Winter is Coming, which is a BFL Merino Rambo silk bamboo blend, I think. It is super fluffy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it is so fluffy. And then there is Black Pearl, which is not up yet. And I think that's it. And then there is one that just, I'm not happy with it. And so it's going to have a life as something else in the future.
You're going to zombify it, mix it in with
it's
some
going
other,
into bat food and will become bats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say zombify. I should say like Dracula-fy? Vampirification? There's a word for that.
It's being recycled.
That's the boring word. All right. Yeah. So all those are going to be fun, and they're going to be up in the shop. Some of them are up in the shop now. Some of them will be definitely up for Shenandoah.
Yes.
Right?
Everything should be coming up for Shenandoah unless it sells out before then.
Yeah. So get your unicorns in because the response on that has been pretty good. I love Space Unicorn.
There was just
personally.
Space Unicorn spins up so nicely, and there's only a little bit of it. I don't think it's going to last long. But I've already ordered more.
So I have a goal, and I don't know if our audience is big enough for this, but hopefully it'll become big enough for this. So Space Unicorn was inspired by a song by Perry Grip. And
check the product listing if you want to see the video.
Well, I also figure we should link to it from here because I really, really want Perry Grip to go to his statistics and say, why the hell is everybody coming to my video from a knitting podcast? So that's my goal. Help us out, please. So what about the FOs that we have here?
Okay, so I've got a crochet FO. So this will be a holiday gift for someone. Ends are not woven in. It has not been washed. It is the bouquet scarf from an interweave book I have. It was an interweave crochet at some time. The pattern's written for fingering. This is a DK weight yarn. This is some discontinued Hipstrings Superwash MCN DK. So the little bit that was left came home with me, and it is slowly being turned into gifts and other things. So this was the sugar maple colorway.
Yeah.
So that's one FO.
Yeah.
And then other FO is, this is part of it. I have been working on spinning a Cormo Cross fleece that I bought at the Maryland Sheep and Wool Festival. Probably 3 or 4 years ago. Let's not say. But today,
You give me a hard time for my
I
long-term
spun
project.
up the last of the locks. So I plied one, and I probably have enough singles to ply another batch. This is a 3-ply. This is from a shacked, bulky, woolly winder. So this is a big, fluffy, probably almost 6 ounces on here.
And that's going to be a blanket for us,
Yes,
right?
which I've shown on the podcast before. When I start working on it again, I'll show you how gigantic it is. If I get 2 more of these skeins to add, that should add about another foot to the length of the blanket. Yeah. And then I've already started spinning some CVM for a border.
So if we get our sweaters done in time, then hopefully we'll be able to get that done in time for a winter blanket.
Yes, I can't wait to have this on our bed. This is why I'm so anxious to spin it up. And then there are all the crazy hearts.
So all the crazy hearts. Well, nothing's a finished object yet.
Well, okay,
right?
Works in progress.
Yeah. So why don't I start? I figured that going internationally, working on color work, when my time zone was shifted literally to the opposite side of the earth, was not a good time to be doing color work.
You're a smart man.
It's only because you told me. So I actually paused my sweater, but my sweater, I'll show you where I am right now. I've taken it back up. I'm almost done with the first color part. I'm doing the first level of the triangles. The sleeves are attached, and it's looking good. Your
floats are gorgeous.
I have a love-hate relationship with doing color work. I really like doing it. I love the end result, but I guess I've never done a sweater color work before because I just feel like I'm not going anywhere. I feel like it's just repeat upon repeat upon repeat, and then because the pattern is so long, I have to tack down the floats, and I don't like letting a float go for longer than 4 stitches. So it's 4 stitches, wrap it around, 4 stitches, change the color, 2 stitches, 4 stitches, wrap it around, 4, and that wrapping around makes it so that the balls get kind of tangled. But it's okay. Once I double what I've done now, then I get to decrease, and then it should be a lot easier.
Yeah, you're making me a little bit anxious about getting my sweater done on time.
Well, you seemed to just blow through the kids' sweaters, and yeah, it's like less than half the stitches. So
they gave me false confidence.
If you remember, I was getting about 1 inch a day with the body. Now I'm getting about a row a day with the color work. So I'm getting a little bit anxious, which is why I was knitting during the podcast. So you want to talk about your work in progress right now?
So I'm working on my crazy heart. I am on my waist shaping, except I'm not following the waist shaping in the pattern, at least where they say where to put it. I broke out my Amy Herzog books. I forget exactly which one I read about where to place the waist shaping so it's more flattering. So that is what I've done.
Okay, so I have one more whip,
Yep.
work in progress. And so that is what I actually did work on while I was traveling. And that is Gab's sweater, Gabriella's sweater. So I have 2 sleeves done and the bottom of the body. Oh, dear God. That's not good.
No.
Drop stitches. Yay. Bottom of the body. So
And
this
I
is...
lost a stitch marker.
Oh, God. This is chugging along quite well. So I think like we found the children's sweaters are significantly easier and go much faster. Do we need to take a break for you to fix that?
No. The buoy stitches don't travel far. I will fix that after we are done recording.
Okay.
That's why there's more knitting.
Oh, so do you have another work in progress?
Yes, I do. So another work in progress is, so I think last time I showed off the buoy fingering in depths. And so I cast it on, and I am working on a hat for Harriet. So it has like a garter lace.
Who's Harriet?
I don't know.
Is that just the name of the pattern?
That's just the name of the pattern.
Oh, okay.
And I
It
haven't
could
worked.
either be somebody you know or a donation thing or just a pattern name. Right?
It's a pattern name.
Okay.
So I think it's by Kate Davies. But yeah, I haven't been working on this much because lace, even simple lace like this is, requires a little bit too much thought.
So do it during the podcast when you don't need to think at all.
I don't think I'm going to continue working on this. I also have a sock in one of those bags.
Okay.
Always be prepared.
Emergency knitting bags.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that's everything we have, right? That's everything we're working
so.
on. I guess then we get into what are we going to call this section? This is new. We've never had a soapbox section before.
Shall we call it getting up on the soapbox?
That's way too long. Anyway, soapbox is enough, right?
Okay.
So, I had this theory a long time ago, specifically with the way that I knit. When I put my needle in, I spend a lot of time is relative, but I spend time twisting and bringing the yarn back out. And I had this thought of, if somebody could make a needle that you could put it in, but it had a little bit of a bump or a notch, you could essentially hook it to come back out. You wouldn't have to move your arm quite as much. And the reason I was thinking about this was because a couple of years back, I was starting to knit very, very quickly. And if I'm doing just in the round or straight stockinette on 2 needles or something, I can get pretty fast. And I thought, well, what's the fastest knitter in the world? And I'm nowhere near her speed, but I was thinking, well, what can I do from a technology standpoint to improve my speed? And little things, her biggest comment was, reduce the movements that you have. Try and refine those movements. And that extra twist is, to me, what I figured would be the most that I could reduce my movement. So if you think of the needle, something like a crochet hook, but not with the hook itself, just a bump. Well, Jill showed me a video today. I'll put up a picture here of needles. I think they're called Prim or
Prim ergonomic.
Prim ergonomic needles, and of course have mixed feelings about somebody releasing this because on the one hand, it wasn't me, On the other hand, I get to buy these, which is cool. I can't wait till they come out with an interchangeable. Really excited about this. The straight needles, I don't use straight needles anymore, but they have a cool interlocking feature and some other stuff. But then there was something that bothered me. They claim the tips are patented. And I went to go look up the patent to figure out, when did they patent these? Well, now I'm not a patent lawyer, but based on this patent and this image, they're not patented, or at least they were back in the 1800s.
No, not 1800s.
Yes!
1938.
Was it 1938?
Yes.
Okay, maybe I should actually look at what I'm looking at before I...
Get angry?
Let's see, yeah.
Still a long time ago.
No, now I'm going to look this up. People are going to watch me just... Okay, anyways. A long time ago. Yeah, I guess it would have been 1938. Yes, that's what it was. Okay. Sorry. Thank you for keeping me honest. Almost the 1800s. But anyways, so 1938. And that patent is from... It specifically just describes knitting needles in general. So I don't know if Prim was... Maybe they got a new patent that I couldn't find.
Well, they're a German company.
Yeah, but...
So you might need to brush up on your German and check the German patent system.
I did a general Google search for worldwide patents and stuff. Again, I spent maybe 10 minutes doing this, so not in depth. So if any of you see this and can help me understand a little bit better, but seeing the 1938 patent, if it is patented, again, it's not a defensible patent, because this has clearly been demonstrated many, many years earlier.
But if they did the bulb tip with the change in the shaft, because they go from a circular shaft to a triangular shaft, plus the little clip-on thing, then that's something new.
We'll have to...
Would be a new patent.
We'll have to look at what the patent or what the video says, because I recall them saying that it's a patented tip design.
And that's still true.
Right, just not by them.
They did not lie.
I hate marketing. Hate marketing. All right, so anyways, all that aside, engineering-wise, it's cool. I'm excited to get a pair, just to try it out, and maybe I'll join a speed knitting competition just to see if my hypothesis is correct, that I can knit faster with one of those. Yeah, that's all I have to say on it. Anything you want to add?
No.
Okay. Obviously, I think it's a good idea.
Yeah.
And like I said, I'm glad that somebody came out with it, so that I can test it.
It'd be useful for my style of knitting too. So.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think they're cool. I like it. They're pretty. I don't like their marketing manager. Next.
Okay, so
what do you got next?
We're kind of going into the studio. I want to talk a little bit about
new yarn.
So this is a new yarn base for us. This is our Discourse yarn base, which is 100% superwash blue-faced Leicester wool. And it's sourced from the UK. It's a 4-ply fingering weight. And so I forget how long ago I discontinued our core sock base.
It's a couple of months.
Yeah, it's probably been at least 6 months. Because I really wanted
As you can tell from the last segment, you shouldn't trust me in terms of time, so listen to her.
It took me some time to try to hunt down another sock yarn base that I would like. And for all the people who say, oh, but sock yarn, it has to have nylon in it. No, No, it doesn't. And I will tell you many times why. I do not knit socks with nylon in them because I have issues with synthetic fibers, and socks with nylon make my feet go all itchy, and it's not pleasant. So all of my socks have been knit without nylon in them. I've used, and they've all been machine washable. I've used silk blends. I've used different wool breeds, superwash merino. And what I look for is ply structure and the fiber. And so if I can, you always go for a 3 or 4 ply sock yarn. 4 plies I think is best, or more. There are sock yarns out there that have like 8 plies.
Wow. Yeah. Are they just really thick, or are
they're
they
really
just
thin?
super
No,
thin?
they're finger weight.
Singles?
They're super thin.
Wow. Never seen those.
And then it's about the actual fiber. So merino itself is a pretty short stapled fiber, and yes, it's soft, but those short staples means that there's more chance for it to wear. There's more points that are going to stick out.
More felting.
More felting because it has crimp. So BFL, Blue-Faced Leicester, is the finest of the long wools. So its fleece has a spiral crimp instead of a zigzag crimp, like most fine wools do. And that means it's less prone to felting, but this is a superwash. It's also a longer staple length. I think this is probably closer to the 4 to 5 inch staples. And that just means that you don't have as many connection points between the fibers. You don't have to use as much twist, even though this is a sock yarn with a good amount of twist. And so they just wear a lot better. I have superwash BFL socks from a different source that they look the same as when I first knit them, and I wear them a lot.
They've outlasted some of my nylon socks.
Yeah. And then Nick has a pair of hand-spun superwash BFL socks, and those look exactly like when I took them off the needles. And Nick wears through his socks badly.
Yeah, and to be honest, I don't know which ones they are. So they must be incredibly soft. So try it out for yourself. It's if
you can make socks without nylon.
Yeah.
Trust me.
And can I talk about why it's discourse?
Sure.
Okay. So discourse, because we're having this discussion about you can have socks without nylon, and because we're talking till we're blue in the face, like Blue-Faced Leicester.
Pun master. So most of our yarn bases are named after things related to academics. So that's kind of why it got into discourse. So they are all hand-dyed. It is a little bit of a hefty skein. So instead, it's not 100 grams, it's 112 grams. So there's 450 yards on this. So we'll definitely make a men's pair of socks. There's a whole bunch
My feet, thank you.
There's a whole bunch of fun colorways up. I just posted 4 tonight, and I'll be dyeing what I have, and more is on its way. I love it. It takes the dye beautifully. I can't wait to start using it.
Cool.
So that's that. So we're in the midst of getting ready for Shenandoah, which is where we will be not this weekend, but next weekend at the Clark County Ruritan Fairgrounds in Berryville, Virginia. It is an absolutely fabulous show. If you're anywhere near the area, you should come.
It's great. They have, there's a couple of key food vendors. I don't know why I always talk about the food.
It's important.
It is important. They've got some good food vendors. Most importantly, like right in front of our booth is the wine vendor, which is great. And then there's some local 4-H or Boy Scouts or something
Boy Scouts.
that do actually fantastic pies. And the kettle corn vendors, second to none there. But
Really
they
good quality vendors.
great vendors. They also have a lot of good animals to see. So there was past 2 years they've brought a camel. There's
There's
been
fluffy Angoras.
oh yes, oh god, every year we have to beat off our own desires to get another bunny.
Yeah.
And yeah, the yarn vendors are good, I guess.
They're really
No,
fantastic.
it's a great collection. I would say a lot of the great vendors from Maryland Sheep and Wool come there, and
And because it isn't as big of a festival, there is time to talk with people and not
Yeah.
wait in huge long lines.
yeah. I would say if you don't like crowds, Sunday is better, especially Sunday morning. That's when
Get there before noon. It's a ghost town.
yeah. So if you wanna, if you'd like to browse at your own leisure, obviously you don't get the first pick of stuff on Saturday. That gets picked over a little bit, but most of the vendors bring enough that's
Yeah.
not a concern. Yeah, and then I guess the next thing is Indie Knit and Spin.
Yeah.
So we finally have officially confirmed everybody for the list. We have 27 vendors this year. That's a full extra room. So we're going to be putting a list on the website, on the Indie Knit and Spin website, as soon as we can. But we figure let's. It's such a long list. I need to read it. We figure let's introduce everybody now. So I'm just going to give a short statement on their names because I know I'm going to forget who's been there and who hasn't been there. There's a lot of new people. There's some people who haven't been able to make it for the fall show before because of space, and so we're really excited about everybody who's here. So, in alphabetical order, Artisan Buttons, Bewitched Pigments, Destination Yarn, Dusty Tree, Fairy Tale Knits, Fiber Nymph Dye Works, Fiddlehead Fibers, Fluvial Fibers Handspun. I was worried I was going to say that badly. Good Water, Gwen Aaron Natural Fibers, Gypsy Stardust Yarn and Fiber, Hipstrings, Joanna's Boutique, Knitterly Things, Lattes and Llamas, One Sly Fox. You know, I should say Lattes and Llamas, but then that doesn't have the okay. Peppermint Knits, Roving Acres, Space Cadet, Star Knits, Steel City Stitcher, 10 Mile Fiber, Steel City Fiber Collective, The Wood Rasp Shop, Unique Sapphire Fiber, Wren House Yarn Studio, and Yogani Yarns. So thank you everybody for joining us. We're really excited to have everyone, and for all of you watching. I hope that's an exciting list for you. I really want to get a lot of people coming, especially because if this works out really well, it means we really should be moving to a larger space. So if we can get some good traction with this group, we'll definitely be able to move to a larger area next time.
Yeah, we have a whole bunch of really fantastic indie fiber artists in the Pittsburgh area and kind of surrounding areas. But I think most of these people come from within a couple hours away. So the show is November 11th at the Wilkins School Community Center in Regent Square, which is the neighborhood of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
We apologize in advance. There are stairs. Parking is not difficult, but it's unique.
It's street parking.
It's street parking, but there's plenty of it. You may have to walk half a block at most. But don't be intimidated by it. It really is not terrible. If you've got problems with stairs, we do have at least one room that is on the first floor.
Which is still up a couple stairs.
It is still up a couple of stairs. So if you've got a problem with lots of stairs, but you're okay with a little bit, you can at least hit one room. So we're hoping that as we move to another location, we can go to something which is more
accessible.
More accessible, yeah.
So it's a former primary school. And so all of our booths are in former classrooms.
Yeah.
So that's why there are just stairs. And the accessibility can be an issue for some people. So that's Indie Knit and Spin. You can go to the website, Indie, I-N-D-I-E, knit, and the actual word and spin.com. for more details, and we'll be starting to put up profiles for each of the vendors in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah. So that's it for this time. We're back to a good 30-minute.
Yeah.
Thank
Oh,
you.
there have been some changes at the studio.
Oh, we didn't even talk about that, did we?
Yeah, no, we didn't. So the studio is now, we aren't open on Thursday nights, but we are open on Wednesdays from 10 to 2. And I think after Shenandoah,
AM, not PM.
AM, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Yeah, yeah. You'll be able to meet our youngest Christopher as well, because
Yeah.
he's a good helper during that time. And thank you to everyone who has stopped into the shop. Have you gotten the names of the people who've stopped by during the day?
Yeah, there's just been, I think Carrie has stopped by during the day.
Okay. Well, thank you, Carrie. And then we also had a Saturday that we can.
Oh, I don't remember who came in on that Saturday.
And someone else. But thank you, everyone who stopped by the shop. And I guess we'll.
Oh, there's another thing we should announce for the next open studio on a Saturday.
Yeah.
So, if you are participating in Spinzilla, or even if you aren't, I will be hosting the Ross Farm Fiber Friends Spinzilla team at the studio on October 7th, which is our next Saturday open studio, and we're having an extended day. So we are going from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m., and we're having a potluck. So basically, if you are spinning for Spinzilla team, you can rack up your yardage while somebody makes sure that you are fed, and gives you and if it's the end of the week, since it's the day before the end of Spinzilla, and you happen to be out of stash or there's nothing you want to spin, we'll be happy to help.
True. And like with Tour de Fleece, if you need some wheel maintenance, we're going to be able to do that for free. So lube it up, tighten it up. Anything that you need. If you give us
Keep
advance
your wheel
notice,
in peak shape.
yeah, we can even 3D print you parts if you need. But you need advance notice for that. All right. Is that
Okay.
everything now?
I think so.
Okay. Let's go watch some Downton
Been a
Abbey.
while. Yes. Time for us to knit and watch Downton.
Thank you very much, and see you next time.
See you next time. Thanks.